Okay, let's talk about for new. I like ICOs because, as it's been said, the early bird gets the worm, and you have to understand why an ICO. Well, there are many projects you can see out there that do not really need an ICO. What they just need is money, but they don't have to launch their own coin. But however, there are merits and also demerits. Well, no, that is not what we're talking about now. So what do we want to talk about? We want to talk about for new. Now, I covered for new before. I want to recover for new again. Why? Because I like this project, and that is why I am talking about this project. Now, you've heard something about the mining of Bitcoin, and a lot of people are saying Bitcoin is the next thing, Bitcoin is the next investment. A lot of people have, I heard in the US that a lot of people actually mortgage their homes and staking their future for this Bitcoin stuff and the rest of them. Well, I don't see it to be so. I see it, Bitcoin is just like every other investment. Yeah, Bitcoin is like every other. Bitcoin is like real estate. It's like stocks. It's like commodities. It's like equity. It's like wherever you see it from. So if you're talking about cryptocurrencies, you have to understand that since there is no central body actually governing these transactions, there are a ring. There are a ring of computers called nodes, which are actually authorizing these confirmations to make sure that issues like double spending and the fake insurance of money is taken off the grid. So, but this system is not really efficient. So, since the blockchains, most of them are not editable, you can't really go back and change the code. So when you have a system that is actually consuming for one transaction, the energy it takes to actually process that is energy that is being consumed by 8.85 homes. It's not really efficient in the long run. Now, when you look at the metrics of those who are actually in the space, it's not really much. Now, when you talk about the utility or the purpose of these people actually in the space, you have to understand that Bitcoin is not really seen as a form of payment, as the founder Satoshi Nakamoto outlined in his paper in 2008. What actually attend is a system of payment. But when you look at the system now, it's more or less like a store of value because of the hype around it. There is much awareness now. The media is covering it. Now you have to understand that what is happening with Bitcoin is not new. Once something gets attention, automatically the price or the way people value such thing actually increases over time. So if you see the space, there is no single how will I put it? If you look at the space now, payment is really minimal when it comes to the Bitcoin space. So payment is really minimal. So there are many people who are just, the only thing they do with Bitcoin, they take Bitcoin to be like stocks. Maybe you're buying Amazon stocks or you're buying Facebook stocks. So okay, you trade stocks or let's say forex and the rest of them. You can't really spend this stuff. Now there are many limitations to maybe a platform like Bitcoin and the rest of them spending Bitcoin. First, the complexity in the system is very complex. How do you explain Bitcoin to a woman in maybe Africa who has not even seen a mobile phone? Okay, maybe there are people who have seen mobile phone, they use mobile phone. Question is, do you explain to your grandmother in the village that there's what we call public key, there's what we call private key, and then you talk about securing, then you talk about many stuff? No, the system is just too complex. Even for the educated people, the system is very complex that some persons actually write off the system and say, no, this is no. So Bitcoin is not really sustainable from that point of view. So let's talk about what is before us. So if it's not really sustainable, and there are many projects that are actually coming up, how do we tackle the energy solutions for mining, and then what is happening in the world? So I've talked about the energy problems of the energy demerits of Bitcoin. So let's talk about a major problem that is facing the world. So in Africa, Especially there are countries in Africa like Nigeria, and let's do some Google so that you will see some certain stuff. Let me type a place in the place called Lagos. Ajegule, Lagos. Yeah, you heard of what they call slums. Like there are slums of Mumbai, there are slums of maybe Pakistan. There are many stuffs. Now, as you can see from the images that is being displayed on my screen, you see waste everywhere, and you see people they transact. So when there are maybe in Europe or US where you have roads that are being made with quota or wherever they make the roads with, these places, their roads are being made with waste. So there is a lot of waste everywhere. And if you have I think there are up to 8 billion people, so there are over 7 billion people on planet Earth. And there is one thing that is very common with humans. It is called waste. Humans must generate waste. So humans must generate waste. So put that in mind. Humans must generate waste. So there is these places now. They generate a lot of waste, but they hardly get up to 4 hours of energy, electrical energy per day. So, and they are generating waste that they can't even accommodate. That they are even finding places to dispose them. So sometimes they burn some of them, which is not very good for society at large and upcoming generations, because this actually pollutes the air, resulting in carbon, the ozone layer depletion, because there is much carbon on the outside that is released to the atmosphere and not good for the people's health. So much waste is being generated. So if much waste is being generated, how do we solve the problem of energy shortage and waste surplus? That is what For New wants to do. Now For New, currently they have some working models and they want to establish things in UK. So what do they want to do? Currently the UK exports some of their waste to Norway, because Norway can actually process them. So what they want to do, they want to set up plants all over UK for the start, and then they will disperse these things to different parts of the globe. So what is an ICO? An ICO is a way to actually raise money, because if this is a massive project, before they will wait for the government and before they will approve these stuffs, it's going to take a lot of time. And one of the things about the government and most times is, at the end of the day, they may not actually give them the money. So before we continue about this project, there is a scientist I have real admiration for. It's called Nikola Tesla. I so much love Nikola Tesla. I've been studying a lot about Nikola Tesla. It's one of the brightest. Some people say it's one of the greatest scientists that actually lived. Now, I actually published on my Facebook page one time ago, and I said, the name Nikola Tesla like sends shivers down people's spine, and like, why did such a man actually die poor? You have to understand that ideas are not enough. Ideas are not enough. You need the people to pull this thing through. And if you need the people to pull this thing through, even though you might have been saying there are people who actually built their companies without money, and they said, yeah, but there is little you can do without money. If a nation wants to go and fight against a nation, now you're not going to say, well, we have the best army, they are very tactful, they will have veterans, they can train them. No, you need money to buy artillery, and you need a very large armory to be able to go after the enemy. So money is a very big issue, to be able to pull something from the conceptual stage of an idea, then push it to the world that a lot of people will now have access to it. So that is what For New wants to do. So they are raising an ICO with that. Okay, let's talk about the 4 dimensions of this project. The first dimension of this project is they're talking about the waste cycle. Let me see if I can get access to that white paper. Okay. So the first part is they want to talk about the waste collection. So they're involved in the waste collection, or you can call it the waste management, And then you have from the waste collection has to, or waste management has to do with the collection from different centers. You know, I published on Facebook one day and I said a lot of people generate waste. What about, and they actually pay to dispose this waste, and these companies that they are paying these things to actually dispose this waste, they charge them, and not only that, these companies maybe sell these things to companies that can actually recycle these things and they make a lot of profit. So I said, what about if people propose to the government and they pressurize the government to make laws and say, yeah, this waste was generated by us. The candy you see there, the water can you see there, the Coca-Cola bottle you see there, everything they generated, we bought them with our money. So we want the government to give us part of our share. It looks very, very stupid, but maybe you could actually make some sense from it. So anything from the waste collection, collecting the waste from the people's house, then the sorting, those who are in the waste management business and the rest of them, then sorting to anything has to do with waste. So they are there. Then you have the conversion of this waste to energy. So that is one of the part of the ecosystem. So they convert this waste to the energy. Then the other part again has to do with the distribution. So after converting this waste to energy, what happened to them? So we can distribute them to the people that are nearby, and also distribute it to the national grid, because like countries like Nigeria, there is power shortage. So this problem can actually help them solve something like this. And then the fourth one again has to do with smart meters. So they want to be in the system here. They will create smart meters. If you know about meters, those are maybe devices that help you read daily energy consumption on the go. So they want to create smart meters, create these devices and integrate into their business. Then the last part has to do with, they're talking about for new estates. So for new estates, you'll be able to, maybe if you want to invest in a part of real estate, you can actually get in through this platform and invest in real estate. And then another part of this project is because they actually edited the white paper, and so I was able to chatting with the team. Now another part of this project is this token can be used as a means of payment. So you can walk up to any pharmaceutical store, maybe in the United States, any part, and you buy anything with this. So they will be also bringing on board telecom companies into this platform. So you should look at it. You know, one of the things, if you've been listening to me, you will discover that I'm a value investor. There are people, I'm considering trading in the upcoming days, but what I'm based on, I'm based on investing for the long time. There's what we call trading. Then you have the traders, then we have the investors. So they want to bring in pharmaceutical companies, then telecom companies, and then you have bring in insurance companies in the upcoming days. And then this coin can also be used for remittance services. So a lot of benefits in the system. And then we can go on from there. Let's see one of the big things that will push this thing to the next level. It is called the mining. Yeah, the mining. So yeah, what the president actually said, he said something. He said, once you buy these tokens, you are buying something like, maybe as you are buying from Hashflare or Genesis Mining, or there are many of them. So when you're mining, you want to mine cryptocurrencies and the rest of them. What's this project? Once you buy that coins, you are actually buying something like hash power. So you are buying kilowatts. And that kilowatt, you can see how it will continue from there. So sorry guys. So they will be offering mining as part of their services. So too good to be true, right? They'll be offering mining as part of their services in the future. So let's see who is behind the team. Okay, Vidatata, you can check him up. Zad Sandeep Gulekshan is the CEO. Peter Telside, you can check them up. Michael Liubert, and then advisory team, Sarah Sharma is the president. This guy has been investing. I think he has some investment in Twitter, Facebook, and a lot of company. And you can see Matt Domner, Richard Dodd, Smart Meter Solutions, and they have a very, very good team. And what you watch with, let's see how they can pull up with this thing from the start. And so you can reach to them if you have any questions. Like I tell people, so you can see here, okay, additional utility that brings to the system: waste to energy plant, money transfer company, licensed pharmacy, insurance company. Wow, all in one platform. They're mining also. Well, is this investment for those who are looking for short-time games? I don't think so. Do you know one of the things I've seen about the crypto space? Is greed and envy. That is what I've seen in the crypto space. There are people who envy those who have been in the space. Hey, this guy has such and such amount of Bitcoin, and like, he's a big guy. But what they fail to realize that those who actually have those money, those who stayed in the turbulent period when it seems as if this thing is coming to a halt, and they believed in the technology. That is why you cannot be a value investor. You can actually make good investments if you are the guy who is, maybe you go on YouTube or this is the top 5 coins that are going to blow in 2018, and 2018 comes and you discover that there are, even in a list, the coins that you ever predicted, maybe you're not even the ones who actually give very good returns. So the best thing is you don't predict. And the other question you should be asking yourself is, if someone like the billionaire, someone like there is someone I respect in the crypto space. It's called Tim Draper. Now Tim Draper is the founder of Tim Draper Draper University. So this guy does not play with his money. If I see, I'm not just saying, I'm not saying this now. If I see Tim Draper behind the team, I am pressurized to actually look further before giving a trade and taking my eyes off that. And one of the things I've seen, there are people who are like saying, you know what, they want you to help them go to the market. No, these are their life is. What they basically want from you is you go out there, labor for this money, and bring the money in. Not only will you bring in the money, it's like this person, they want you to go out there, bring the money, and not only will you bring the money, they want you to go out there, go to the mall, buy the food, and then cook the food. Not only cook the food, they want you to serve them the food. Not only serve them the food, they now want you to feed them. Not only feed them now, they want you to do the dishes. Not only do the dishes, they want you to do everything for them. That is why the space is. There are many people who are too lazy to sit down to make very, very good analysis. And I tell people, if you can't sit down, and it's what Charlie Munger called the assiduity. You have to sit down with your ass and get that thing done. So if you don't sit down and get that thing done, and someone who has not read this white paper, how many pages is this white paper? 39 pages. The person comes and says, hey, this project, well, let us see what they want to do. I don't like it. No. This project is not going to be good. No. What I do before I discard the project, I sit down, I go through the papers, then I make my judgment. So how should you take this video? I've explained everything they want to do about this project. But do you know how you should take this video? Take this video as information. If you want to invest and make your own studies, do have a very good day.